Alright guys, we finally got the launch trailer for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. And boy oh boy, this trailer is so amazing and packed with a ton of new stuff. In today's video, we will be going over everything that is seen in the launch trailer. Before we get into this video, don't forget to thwip that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below. Alright, let's dive in. So the first thing we see is Peter fighting the lizard with the symbiote, and then we see Miles jumping off the ground with his bioelectricity. It looks like he is about to punch someone, I wonder who. The next shot we see the main man himself, Venom. He looks so good, I love the way he looks, and that roar he did, it's fire. This shot of Peter in the sky is so beautiful, as the sky looks so dark and perfect. Now in this scene we see Miles walking in some sort of garden. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but I think this is a hallucination, and it could be Mysterio's doing or Martin Lee's. This scene of Miles flying with the web wings is so beautiful. I can't wait for this game. Now this shot is Peter talking to Miles, and if you look closely it's confirmed that Peter will be an actual teacher in Marvel's Spider-Man 2, as he is wearing a teacher's outfit and he looks like to be in a classroom. This is going to be so cool and amazing. Hopefully we can walk around and explore Midtown High. Now this scene is insane as Miles went flying LMAO. I wonder who threw him and why it happened. Okay, this scene is making me a bit scared as Miles seems to be reaching out to his mom Rio Morales, but she looks like she is with another man. My speculation is that it's Martin Lee, as in the next scene we can see Martin Lee fighting Miles, and the room looks exactly the same as how the previous scene looked. What do you guys think? It's confirmed Sandman will be in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. He looks absolutely huge. Miles and Peter are both trying to take down Sandman, but it looks like they are struggling. There is also electricity. This could mean that Electro will be back, or that it's just Miles' bio-electric powers. Okay, this shot is insane. In this scene Peter is wearing the symbiote, but it seems like the symbiote is going back on him, despite already wearing it. This could mean that the symbiote is evolving, or Peter just got another sample of the symbiote. I am not sure though. During the next scenes, Peter is smacking his enemies down with the tendrils attack. And then we get this shot which goes so hard. I love how the rain and thunder is there, it's so spectacular. I can't wait to swing with the symbiote suit while there is rain and thunder. During those shots, I think Harry or Connors might be explaining to Peter what the symbiote is and how it chose him.
We call it a symbiote, and it chose you.
Next we can see Norman Osborn telling guards to get it off of him. I think what Norman is referring to is how Peter is wearing the symbiote suit. We can also see a bunch of security guards behind Norman. They all seem to be wielding an electrified baton. In the next shot we can see Peter and the lizard. It looks like Peter just got done capturing the lizard and is holding him down with the tendrils. And if you look closely, Peter has something in his hands. It looks like an injection cure for Kurt Connors. We can see a long needle and a green light on it. Despite Peter being affected by the symbiote, he still has his funny quips.
Ready for your annual physical?
In this scene, we see Miles fighting some bad guys, and if you pay attention to his moves, you can see that he modified one of his old finisher moves. This was one of my favorite finishers in Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, and it's back, but it's being executed differently, straight heat. Now this scene is heartbreaking. During this shot, if you pay attention to the dialogue, you can hear Peter being rude to MJ, by saying he is the hero, not her.
I'm the hero here, not you.
I'm not entirely sure what MJ did to make Peter speak to her like that, but I am really worried. If you also pay attention in the background, we can see Harry, and he looks really ill and pale. He even has a walking stick now. This all has to do with the sickness he got a couple years ago. This is really sad to see, and I wonder how this is all going to play out. I also love how Peter is wearing a black shirt. It reminds me of the Spectacular Spider-Man when Peter had the symbiote and he was wearing a black shirt. This is really cool, and I wonder what other outfits Peter will be wearing while being affected by the symbiote. If you also look closely, we can see a photo of Peter, MJ, and Harry. This room there, and it looks like maybe Harry's room or maybe even a lab. In this next shot, Peter is at the particle accelerator, and the whole building is being blown up. I presume it's Craven's group. Okay, now this shot is so interesting. In the background, we hear MJ telling Peter he is not himself.
You're not yourself.
And then we see Peter on the ground wearing the symbiote suit. But the symbiote suit looks much different than usual. It looks way more evolved and more slimy-like. Now this is my theory, but the way the symbiote suit looks, Peter may have transformed into Venom for a little bit and became normal again. This is because if you look closely, the symbiote suit logo looks way different and looks identical to Venom's logo. And also, if you look closely at his eye lenses, you can see it now has a weird looking texture. This is the same texture that is seen on Venom's back a couple shots later. This scene is gonna be intense, I just know it. Peter might be Venom, or he transformed into Venom only for a little bit, just like in the Ultimate Universe. But we will have to wait and see how the part plays out. This scene is really worrying, as we can see MJ looking at Peter shocked and scared, and her face looks bloody. This entire scene looks way different than what we saw in the story trailer for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. The background looks different and gloomy, and MJ now has blood on her face. The way MJ reacted, she seemed shocked. This is my speculation, but she may have reacted that way due to her finding out that Peter just turned into Venom. If that is the case, then that is just insane. Now this scene is spectacular. We can see a person grabbing onto the symbiote, and in the next scene, that person supposedly becomes Venom. I have so many questions. Why is the symbiote on the ground? And who is Venom, LOL? I have theories on who might be Venom. I personally think that Harry, Norman, or even Peter might become Venom. I really can't wait to find out who Venom is. In the next shots, we see the transformation of Venom. And man, the way the texture of the symbiote looks here is so fire and eerie. I love how Venom jumped and landed like Spider-Man. Maybe what we see here is maybe playable Venom, who knows? Next we see MJ standing next to, I presume, Kurt Connors. MJ says he's here. I wonder who she is talking about, Venom or Peter. Maybe even Kraven, as his helicopter is the one that approaches in the next scene. I love this part as Venom is being shot by many people, and he just looks absolutely insane. You can see his eyes change shape while he roars. That is an amazing detail. This scene is worrying, but also pretty awesome, as Miles seems to be falling, and the way the background looks, it could be Martin Lee's doing, or maybe Mysterio. But also that it looks a lot like the legendary Be Greater trailer for Marvel's Spider-Man 2018. This scene looks really amazing, and I cannot wait to see how it plays out. Now this shot of Venom sliding of a building is so badass. It looks like he may be in an elevator, as there are some things you would see outside of an elevator. Either ways, this looks so cool. Now in the scene we see MJ sliding of a motorbike, while in the background dialogue saying, I know I can snap him out of this.
I know I can snap him out of this!
Man, we are in for a ride. Peter being affected by the symbiote is no joke. It is really affecting everyone around him. If you didn't already know, the way MJ slid off of her motorbike reminds me of the anime called Akira, where he slides off of his bike exactly like how MJ did. I love how they reference that. In the next scene, we can hear Miles telling Peter, we can fight this together.
We can fight this together!
Now I believe he may be referencing to Peter with the symbiote. Maybe that dialogue is in one of the missions where we have to help Peter remove the symbiote. Now this next scene is pretty interesting. Obviously we can see Peter and Miles swinging away. But if you look closely to the left, you can see something that looks like the symbiote. Now I have two theories for this. Either this is when Miles helped Peter remove the symbiote, or a symbiote invasion may have happened. If that is the case, then that is honestly going to be insane. We've seen this kind of stuff before in other Spider media such as Web of Shadows. So it will be really cool seeing it take place in Insomniac's universe. And lastly, we see Venom roaring like an absolute menace he is. What a beautiful shot. The lighting in the back could be Miles or just thunder itself, which is really awesome. And I also wonder who is Venom roaring at. We are 2 days away from this masterpiece. What did you think about the new launch trailer? Comment down below your thoughts. Make sure to thwip that like button and subscribe.
We're going to heal the world.